Okay, hey, hi, how are you? This should be part 2 of the manga update, and hopefully, I'm hoping, will be the last part. There's kind of a lot to get through, but a lot of it is like one giant series, and then another giant series, and so on and so forth, so I think we'll be able to get this done fairly fast. So, yes. Sorry if I make a mistake saying something, or I say something stupid that doesn't make any sense, like Naruto's my favorite One Piece, or something weird like that. I usually film these either kind of later at night, or after work, so my mind isn't always where it should be when I'm saying things. And yeah, I also may take a break once in a while to take a sip of water, because talking for a long time can hurt me sometimes. And yeah, and I apologize if the lighting is bad too. So let's start off with my Toriko and my Berserk! Good story about that. Not really, but we'll get there in a second. Toriko, I have volumes 1 through 10. I've read actually the first 5, hence why they're wrapped and these ones aren't. So lately, what I've been doing, I've been buying a series, something like Toriko, or a series where it's either shonen or something that's been created into an anime that's either long-running or whatever. And I've been reading a volume or two, and then watching the shows that correspond with those volumes. And I like seeing the differences and all that kind of thing. But I probably should have never have started doing this with Toriko. The reason for that is, Toriko, and the manga, and the anime are almost two separate beings. The manga is very good. It's very good shonen. Well, okay, it's very mediocre shonen, but that also means good half the time with shonen, because a lot of shonen is pretty decent, just because of that genre. If you don't like the genre, then you won't like anything in the genre, if that makes any sense. But Toriko, they've censored so much stuff in the anime. It's ridiculous. I watch it on either Crunchyroll or Funimation.com. I think, yeah, Funimation.com is where I watch it. And I won't be buying the DVDs because I don't think it's worth it. Plus, they haven't released anymore. But they censor out blood. They censor out certain violence. Like, for example, there's a scene where Toriko uses a fork and knife move, and he cuts the head off of a dinosaur thing. And in the that's in the manga. Anime, nope, he just kind of hurts him and then he dies. In this, Toriko will take what they call like smoke branches, he'll crack them off, snap his fingers, and he starts smoking these trees. And he's so badass. Drinks like 3 things of wine at a time, like holds 3 bottles in his hand, like warriors, and drinks them. This, in the anime, none of that. So, if you want to know anything about Toriko, please go to here. It's a really cool shonen about a dude who defeats monsters and then eats them, and that's the show. It's a little bit of One Piece kind of feel, a little bit of Hunter x Hunter kind of feel, yeah. And now Berserk. Something that I've always wanted was Berserk, but the reason why I never had it until now, some of it anyways, it's been out of print for ages and ages. Each volume was like $20 a volume. One of them was at $50 to $100. It got retarded. Sorry for the language, but it just wasn't worth my money to buy Berserk, even when it's a really good series. Until I got a word from a few different YouTubers that they were going to reprint it, and they were just going to release it, like not saying anything, just boom, it's out. And I pre-ordered the first 5 volumes, and I'm like, yes, it's gonna be great. And it was about 3-4 months later, I just randomly get a message saying, here you go, and I got them in the mail for, you know, $9 a volume, $10 a volume. Actually, some of them were almost 12 because pricing was a little weird, but still, this manga retail in stores is about $16 a volume, so Canada, anyway, so got a really good deal. Great thing about it is there's a lot of nudity and stuff that happens in it because it's supposed to be medieval times, so they seal every single volume. So that's really cool. If you actually know anything about the anime, you will know that the anime ends in a giant cliffhanger. If you're ever interested in actually seeing the series continue from that, I really recommend reading 1 to 3, because this is the prequel right before what happens, and then he tells his story, which is what the anime is, and then 13 up. Then you'll get more story. Right now it's on hiatus, but, you know, really good, actually really fast. I have volumes 8 And volumes 6 of Hunter x Hunter over here, this is what I'm currently reading. You might be thinking, where's the rest of that? We'll get there in a second. How am I going to get my camera up there? Well, I guess we're just going to lift it up and hope. Oh, there we go. My light is attached to a socket, so this is going to be hard to film. So what I have here is volumes, I don't know why they're all weirdly out of order like this, but volumes 20 to 1, or 1 to 20, with volume 6 being over there, of Hunter x Hunter, known to some people as Hiatus x Hiatus. I did a review type thing of what I thought, and I messed up my words. I said things probably not how I should have, like I do in most of my videos, and I made a comment like how it takes influences from other anime, even when this came in the early 90s, or even actually before, really. That was my bad. But it's really good. There's moments of this where if I didn't know better, like sometimes I don't, I would say it did, because there's gourmet hunters, just like Toriko, except this came first. There's different kind of ninjas, there's people looking for treasure. It literally is the big 3, 4, whatever, of the shonen series mixed into one series, and it's pretty decent. It does a lot of things that you're like, oh, here comes the Sasuke scene, one of the friends disappears, and then it's summed up within a volume, and it's like, oh, okay, I thought half the series was going to be doing this. So I'm only on volume 6. That pretty much ranges up to episode-wise to about 21, actually more like probably 20, almost 30 episodes probably. But this, if I do have to recommend reading something and then watching something, there you go. There is some censored parts, like decapitations and stuff, which makes sense why it's censored. I'm not going to say anything about that. But this is more of a faithful, like anime. The anime is faithful to the manga on this one, not so much on Toriko here. But yeah, it's actually really good. I still gotta go back and read it. I'm not really in the reading mood for manga at this moment in time. I'm more in video games. That happens to me. I know. Randomly, let's pull out my Japanese volume of 62? 62? Let me just look at my shelf. 61. 61. Volume 61 of One Piece. My Japanese version. If you don't know why this volume is important, it's because this is when the Straw Hats do the time skip. And the cool thing, this cover is actually basically a revamped version of Volume 1. So it's really cool. I actually had Volume 61 in English before I had the Japanese one, but I wanted the Japanese one just to be like something just to have. And I love how small Japanese mangas are. I kind of wish they're released like this down here. Only thing is they won't last as long. They're made out of cheaper paper, but price-wise, in Japan, they're about $4 to $5 a volume. It's really cheap because they're just comic books printed on paper, like newspaper paper, kind of. And yeah, here's my volume 63. And if you want to see a comparison, I actually have a comparison of both the volumes of 61 in English and Japanese on my channel. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I haven't read it yet, but I'm interested. I think that's all the manga over here. This is where it's going to be weird to film, so I might have a cut here. If not, well, you're gonna watch me fumble around. Okay. I did something stupid and I took off my tripod mover thinger. There we go. So this is the rest of it. This is actually, if you've seen my 2013 update, almost everything you're gonna see here is brand new stuff. Actually, all that other stuff you saw was brand new stuff. But yeah, one of the first manga reviews I did on this channel was Nausicaa Valley of the Wind Volume 1. What I have here is volumes 1 to 7, the complete series of Nausicaa the Valley of the Wind. The really cool thing about this was, now I don't know the story in full, but I guess Hayao Miyazaki, the guy who pretty much ran Ghibli, needed money to make the movie or something like that, so what he did was he made a manga out of it. And it's longer, it's bigger, it's fuller than the actual movie, which I have not seen in full, but I have read only volume 1 of this. The reason why is there was a hardcover version, which is much cheaper than what I paid for the singles. You can get a hardcover 2-volume, like nice, really nice looking, goes in a box and everything, for like $40. I spent about $10 a volume on this. I know, I feel bad. At the time though, the hardcover was out of print. It was like a, I don't know, it was $200 almost to get, and I was like, I want you so much, but I'll never afford you, I'll just get these ones. And then a couple months later, there was a re-release, and I'm like, oh, why did you do that to me? So, yeah, it was sad. But, you know, sometimes that happens, where they'll reprint something, and that's why you just gotta wait for things. So yeah. Next is something I really, really love. I haven't actually read the second one, though. And that is the High School of the Dead Color Omnibus. Oh! It's so heavy. This is actually, I won't pull out the other one, but what this is volumes 1 through 4 in color and uncensored. The black and white, you know, regular manga version was censored. It was censored quite heavily. This, uncensored. From what I understand, though, and here's the bad thing that some people may not like, the coloring, from what I understand, was not done by the creator. There was color volumes in Japan, and those were done by the creator, but the color ones in this were digitally, I guess, done by Yen Press, the company who releases the volumes. But before that makes you go, oh, it's really well done. It's almost like reading an American comic book. It really is, except a lot better. Now Volume 2, which actually came out, I think, last month? No, 2 months ago. I'm behind on reading things, apparently. You can already tell from here, maybe, it's a bit thinner. Here's the thing. It's maybe 3 volumes. If you ever actually watched the anime, and you wanted to continue the anime, just pick up this. This actually continues everything I think that's been released. Because the manga went on hiatus, the creator stopped making it to do another series. He is actually going back to it. In this, it actually says he's actually going to start writing again. But what this is about 2, maybe 3 volumes. I haven't actually looked into it yet. There's me unboxing it and going through it in my whatever month this is posted. Go look for the month before anime update, manga update, you know, that whole thing. And I go in depth, but most of it, almost like a quarter of it, is concept art and that kind of thing. So if you really are into that and you really like this, it's still worth the money. It's about $40 each volume. 4 volumes in here, $10 a volume. The actual shitty black and white ones are like $12 a volume. So it really works out quite well. Let's move this down a bit. So next is my Oreimo. This is the complete series of Oreimo, which Dark Horse, what the hell are you doing here? I bought these all pretty much on release because I knew about them since they were first ready to go. Dark Horse does these two. They're like, okay, boom, let's have the thing here, let's make this a bit taller, let's put our logo way up here. What the hell are you guys thinking? They made the spines just all broken. But if you don't know Oreimo, also known as, I Can't Believe My Little Sister's This Cute, or whatever, this is the complete manga series. It was originally a light novel, and then it was turned into a manga. But this is, I guess you would call it Season 1, because a lot of people know that Season 2 and how the story ended up a little bit of a wincest, I guess some people would call it. But this basically is to do with the brother and sister bonding, and in the end they're become kind of friends. But it's alright, the manga is okay. It was a little bit overpriced, kind of, when it came out. But if you're really a really big fan of it, I guess pick it up. I just wanted to own something in the series that wasn't like $500 because of Aniplex. How dare you license the anime? But it's okay. If you want it, get it. If you're indifferent and you're like, I don't know, just don't. It's every time I see a light novel translated into a manga, it usually is not well done at all. I think is there someone outside my door? No. People do that, and it's really rude. The last one I talked about was Scientific Railgun. It's from a manga, or sorry, it's from a light novel, then they translate it to a manga, not translate, but you know, they turn it into a manga, and there's so much lost, and the story doesn't make any sense. That's just how I feel about the manga. I haven't actually seen the show, and I haven't read the light novel, because it's not an English light novel. But, you know, I know. Let's stop talking about Oreimo. Wincest, bestcest. What? Okay. Next is a box set. I actually did a full unboxing of this on my channel, and that is the Bakuman complete box set. we'll get to this red thing in a second. Yeah, let me just open this up. Oh. Now, I have not completed it. Oh, the light bulb is touching this. Let me just back the camera up. Oop. I guess I'm just gonna have to hold it down. No, I don't want to. Oh, it's touching the light bulb. Oh no! Okay, there we go. So Bakuman, this is the complete manga box set. Sorry for the light. It says 1 to 20. As you can see, I've read up to 7? I thought I was volume 9 up here. Oh no, okay, whatever. I've read up to 7 volumes. I'm on volume 8 right now. I really like it, but I put it on hold because I started to read Hunter x Hunter, and then I kind of got sidetracked and started playing some games, and then read some Berserk, and I shouldn't have. I really want to get back into the series. Nothing's stopping me, really, except my own laziness. But when I'm done it, I think I will be talking about it because I really do like it. And if you like manga, about a manga, and making manga that was shown in Jump Manga and published by, it's really good. And even if you're thinking about this box set and you don't know or not, I think you should get it. It goes on sale once in a while. It's usually like $120, but I've seen it go as low as $80. So if you ever see it go for cheaper, you know where you can get it for a decent price. I totally recommend picking it up. Let me just lower my camera down. See, I told you this video wasn't me as long as all my other ones. Oh, here comes controversy. Oh, give me a second. Let me get a drink of water here. My throat's starting to die. Let me move my camera. Oh, not my camera, my light. There we go. Okay, actually, before we talk about controversy up corner, let's get into even more controversy. This is, that red thing we saw a second ago, is my Kindle. Oh, it's low on battery. I've barely used it. I should charge that soon. The reason why I got it was I don't like reading scanlations. I think they're bad, they don't help anybody, and they just, you know, this is a tough conversation, isn't it? Scanlations are good if there's no planning on licensing it, none of that kind of thing. But at the same time, people who read scanlations and then the manga's released won't buy the manga. Those people usually won't buy manga anyways. But there's certain times when you know something isn't going to be licensed. Or a light novel isn't going to be licensed. Something like that isn't going to be licensed, and you know because of certain companies and how certain companies act. This is what that is, pretty much. I have a fan comic on here called Dragon Ball Multiverse, which if you've never heard of, and you're slightly into Dragon Ball Z, or any Dragon Ball, please go read it. It's like 40 chapters and it's still going. It's about a certain alien race make a time machine that they can take different fighters from any universe. And we see different versions of Goku, different versions of Piccolo, like versions of, say, Piccolo where he had to summon every single Namekian, or whatever you want to call it, and he fused every single one together, so he's the ultimate Namek. And they had to do that to defeat the Frieza on their planet. But say there's a Frieza in another universe that didn't die and actually took over Namek. Like, it's all the possibilities you ever can think of is in it. So I got a Kindle so I can read that kind of thing, because I like reading things on paper and not a screen, and this is kind of like that. So now that we got that out of the way, and I'm keep stalling, some people may not know that I don't hate shonen series, and some people may know that I talk a lot of crap about, well, these two here. Now, let me add this. And this might shock some people. I've barely read Naruto, but I've read every single volume I own of Bleach. I've read a couple volumes of Naruto. I think it was up to at least, at the time I actually didn't own volume 2 and I had to grab one. I know they're all sealed. I know, it goes against my own rule. But I read volume 1, 2, oh sorry, 1 and 3 and 4, I think. Yeah, and 4. And then I stopped, because I'm like, why? What's the point? And then years later I got the anime, and I watched up to 70-something, I think. Yeah, 70, basically I'm a season and a half in of Naruto. And, you know, it's not bad, it really isn't. Here's the thing, with the anime, don't watch the dub. It's bad. sub is okay. And I usually don't, I'm not one of those people, but it really isn't that choice. But I don't know, I just not a huge fan of Naruto. Here's the really weird part. Bleach, the manga, I don't mind. I actually kind of like it. I guess it's because there's no filler like the anime is, and you know, I can read it at my own pace, and there's no like side story like, oh, well, Ichigo is gonna go fight this guy, let's go see what his friends are doing. There's not really any of that. We get to see him do his thing, then it's done, next scene. I started watching the anime again recently. It's so weird. There's so many voice actors where I'm like, oh, look, there's Yoko, and oh, look, there's a Vash the Stampede, and all these different voices. Oh, look, there's Haruhi. There's all these voices in the show that it's just really jarring to hear them in Bleach. I don't know. It's just really weird for me. But, yeah, not much I can say here. Now, if you don't know, why maybe they look funny to you, is these are the omnibuses. Okay, Viz Media. These releases of your 3-in-1s are kind of the worst thing ever. The reason why these are super bagged in, because I had to get some comic book bags for these ones, they deteriorate, you know what I'm trying to say, really, really easily. They're made with almost cheaper quality than the Japanese manga. They're made out of, like, literally, quite literally, newspaper. The pages are so thin you can see the panels on the next page. It's really bad. But you can get 3 volumes for $12, or sometimes cheaper if you're lucky. I think I got this volume here for $8. So if you want to read it real quick and you don't care about collecting, that's a way to go. They actually have it for One Piece, Naruto, a lot of series they are starting to make it for. But I don't recommend them if you want it to collect. If you just want to read, like I do, I just want to read Bleach, I don't really want to collect it, then this is the way to go, I personally say. They're just kind of garbage releases. And here's another random tangent. The Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, have the, what do you call them, the Vizbigs, which are the really nice, like, sturdy copies. And now they're releasing 3-in-1s, which are quite literally the same thing, except dumbed down for the exact same price. What are you doing, Viz? What are you doing? I don't know. My own tangent. Now, here's something One Piece, I'm not going to do the joke that I did in my anime review. If you didn't watch my anime review, I did a bit of an editing joke when I got to my One Piece in episode 4? I think it was episode 4 I did. One Piece. Okay. So you might be thinking, why 61 up? That's weird. That is weird. I haven't read 69 yet. And I feel kind of bad about that. They're in an arc right now. Now, if you don't know, 61 up, I already mentioned it, but it's the New World arc. If you don't know New World, time skip, pull the Naruto Shippuden, blah, 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 blah. The first arc they did was, you know, they meet up, they do the whole thing, they go into the ship, and then they go to Mermaid Island, which is under the water, and then there's a whole thing about, oh, let's bring Arlong back, and let's bring Smoker back. There's a lot of characters that are like, hey, let's bring things back from the beginning of One Piece to get everyone all excited again. The arc itself, I was not a fan of. I'm like, okay, let's get past this Mermaid Island. I don't really care. We're in a time skip. I want something huge to happen. Like, oh my god, see all their new powers. And they're like, some of the powers we get to see, but most of them are just hidden. We're not seeing them. I want to see like something huge happen, something new. We're not really seeing that. And finally they finish Mermaid Island. I'm like, yes, new One Piece. It's gonna be great. And then they go to Hazard Punk Island. And it's half the island is hot, like lava, and the other half is cold, like winter. And there's like these like giant kids that they're trying to help, and then there's a man who's doing experiments on them, and he's evil, and Law is there for some reason, and all these people are just randomly doing things. And it's just, the story really, in my opinion, isn't making sense right now. Now, from what I understand, this volume, I think, starts to end that whole issue about making sense. And this is my opinion. I know, my opinion's bad. I know. And apparently the next arc, I've been told from a few subscribers, which I thank you, that it's Desparia or something like that. The arc is going to be great. It's gonna be the One Piece arc that I want, and I'm excited. I really am. But if you don't know, I've watched like all the anime Funimation's released, and I love One Piece. It's my favorite, to the point of where this is where it's gonna be hard to shoot, and I'm sorry. I got the One Piece box set. Once again, there's an unboxing of this. I may put links to unboxings and stuff I mentioned. I might put a thing up. Now this is gonna be hard for me to get open. Oh, everything's falling. Put you up there. So this is volumes. Let me just pull that back up there. Volumes 1 through 23 of One Piece, and I love it. It's great. I have actually another copy of Volume 1. It's a first print edition. You know if it's a One Piece first print edition if the gold lettering is actually shiny. But this is all the way up to the end of Alabasta, and the freaking Romance Dawn, the original pilot, or the original one-shot that Oda wrote to get One Piece to, you know, be put through to Shonen Jump. It's so great. Here's the thing, guys. I haven't read any of these yet. I know. I feel really bad about it myself. I just been busy. You know, I've seen it in the anime, and I know that is zero reason not to read these. I will get to it. I really will. I want to finish Bakuman. I want to finish so many things. And then have like an entire day to myself where I just sit down, open the box, and just read. And it will be a great day. But the day will come, and if it happens, I will tell you. But at this moment in time, it's just not happening. But by the way, this box set is beautiful. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite manga box. Like, it's my favorite just thing in this room almost at this moment in time. So, once again, Controversy Corner. Once again, I apologize for how I'm filming this. The first 5 volumes of Fairy Tail, you know, One Piece, except turned into Harry Potter, and now is just fan service the anime manga. I don't know what's going on with Fairy Tail. I've only read the first 5 volumes. It's a nice series. It's kind of weird that the main character is a girl, but it's not a girl. It's also Natsu, but it's not really Natsu. It's more Lucy. And then they bring. I guess they're not. They're all main characters, but just how the story starts off, we kind of follow Lucy into her, you know, whole thing, and she's just like the fan service character, and that's the character we're following. And I don't know. I haven't seen too much of Fairy Tail or know too much Fairy Tail, but everything I have seen, it just looks like it's turned into a pile of shit. It keeps getting canceled. The manga keeps getting stopped. The anime got canceled twice now, and it keeps coming back. Everything I've seen, like screenshots, have been just super fan service, like beach episodes, like over and over and over again. Urza's supposed to be the strong female character, like wearing barely anything and running around. That just feels wrong to me. I don't know. It kind of gave me a bad taste, and I was like, well, I'm gonna stop buying Fairy Tail. I think it's not doing too well in my opinion. But yeah. Now, if you don't know, it was a bit of a tradition on this channel. Every time I got a new volume of the next series, I would not talk about it at all. And I'm still not gonna really talk about it, but I'm actually gonna mention the name this time. And that is the first 8 volumes, and yes, I know, I am very behind. I'm missing 3 volumes at this time of uploading. Of Attack on Titan. This series that everyone knows, and if you don't know it, then you probably know no one that knows anime, and you don't own the internet. And I don't know how you're watching this video right now, because this show, manga, has been talked about so much. And if you say one thing wrong about the anime, you just committed anime suicide. It is the worst thing to do. And I wouldn't know, because I did it once, and yeah, that was bad. But Attack on Titan, not much to say, not much I want to say, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and everyone attacks me, but that's probably already happened. I probably said something stupid already. But the manga, it's quite good. I really do like it. I like both the anime and the series. I really, really do. It's quite good, and I can't wait for season 2. But the manga itself is pretty rough. The mangaka, I'm not sure if this is one of the first things he ever did, but it almost seems like low-level doujinshi kind of era, like, of drawing. It looks very iffy. but it has improved greatly throughout the volumes, which is quite good. But yeah, not much to say about Attack on Titan. Soul Eater. Another thing that has really weird art. Art I wasn't expecting, considering how good the anime looks. If you don't know, the opening of Soul Eater is probably one of my favorite animated things, music-wise, and like music, animated, favorite opening. It's just really well done. If you ever want to see something great and you haven't seen the opening of Soul Eater, or you want to see it again, watch that thing in like HD and just sit down and watch it. It's beautiful. The manga, the art is very strange. It's a little different. This basically, without spoiler-wise, if you haven't seen or heard anything about Soul Eater, this goes up to the Medusa, one of the first Medusa fights under the school. I think that's all I can say without ruining anything. I think the series is actually complete now, except say the anime ended at volume 10. Just say that. I don't know what it actually is, but the manga is like say 18 volumes or 20 something. I don't know. There's an extra almost 10 volumes of material that was just never animated, and I don't know. I couldn't tell you what volume if you wanted to continue the story to read, but it's still a really good show, except for the ending, and I have a review that I talk about that ending, and it makes no freaking sense at all, and it pisses me off. The ending of Soul Eater, the anime, pisses me off because it makes no sense, but that's a different rant. The manga, same as the anime, you know, little things are different here and there, but nothing too notable, I think. If you really like Soul Eater, jump in. Only thing is, yen price, it can be a little bit expensive. So there's my my volume 1 of One Piece. See how it's shiny? If you have a shiny volume like that, then you know you have a first edition, and it's not like worth really money, but it's, you know, it's something nice to hold on to. And I think volume 2 of this actually came out, and I just totally didn't grab it. And then no matter how I look at it, it's your guys' fault I'm not popular. Or for some reason people call it Watamote. I think that's the like it's the initial kind of thing of what this is, but in Japanese. This is one of the weirdest series ever. Not for what's inside it, but for how it became a thing, and how it got popular, and how we have this printed in English is just weird. If you don't know, there's a site called 4chan, and before you go look at it, don't. Unless you know what 4chan is and you go to it regularly, then, you know. But otherwise, I can't recommend it and not ruin someone. But /A is a board on 4chan, and they decided, I think it was /A, it may have been B, but I think it was /A, decided that this was really weird, like a really good manga, and like it makes them cringeworthy and makes them feel the feels that any anime manga fan would know. If you don't know, this girl is basically a girl who's a giant nerd, and she has reactions to things that people like maybe us or not us or people in this community might actually have. And it got to the point of where it's a female actually created this. One of the places on 4chan decided to send her. Now, I'm not sure they did this in the kindness of their hearts or what. They all decided to send her dick pics. Hundreds of dick pics. And she received them, and she commented on them. And the reason this manga actually has multiple volumes is because of the popularity that 4chan made it become. A lot of people will say, well, 2chan, the Japanese version, wouldn't have that got it popular? Well, now I'm not sure if I can actually prove anything here. I'm going to open this up real fast. I know at least one of the Japanese translations, someone translated it, and it's hilarious. No, they didn't put it in English, I don't think. But on one of the back pages, it said something along the lines of, in Japanese of course, this manga made popular by a 2chan-like website. Like 4chan. So yeah, the only reason Watamote is really popular and had an anime is because of 4chan. 4chan did something good for the anime community. That's amazing. I don't think we'll ever hear about anything like that ever again. I really don't, because they're the ones who usually help with scanlations and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of an amazing story in my opinion. And next, I'm not going to pull out because they're huge. I pulled the first one. Just like that, I guess. Is Dance of the Vampire Bund. Now these are the omnibuses done by 7 Seas, I believe they are. They are a relatively newer manga publishing company, I guess you could say. And they make a very interesting manga. They're about as tall as the Vizbigs, but the quality is more like just a normal manga volume. You know, like normal paper and everything, not slimmed down, kind of like the these 3-in-1s, but normal everything. And they're a little bit more expensive than the they're about the same as the Vizbigs, but they're more expensive than the 3-in-1s. They're about 15 bucks, almost 20 bucks a volume. They can get a bit pricey, but they're still cheaper than buying the 3 volumes separately. If you don't know, Dance of the Vampire Bund is about vampires, and in Japan, the queen of the vampires makes an island where all vampires can live, and Japan is not liking that very much, and her bodyguard is a little bit of a spoiler, I guess. Not really. It's like in the first couple volumes you get to read it. Is a human/werewolf, and the werewolves protect the vampires. It's just what they do. And I read volumes 1 to 3, which is the first omnibus thing. I kind of liked it. It is not recommended for anyone under 18 though, because there's a lot of stuff and things that happen. But story-wise and how it's written and the art, it's kind of good, which is really weird because the anime is only like 12 volumes, and there is like almost, was it 15 volumes? Maybe under, maybe more, but around there, volumes worth of content, which has to mean the anime cut a lot or has no ending. And I saw some clips from the anime. It's Shaft. It looks really weird. There's a lot of close-up on eyes and faces, but the voice of the English thing, I think, was Monica Rial. It was someone with one of those annoying girl voices that you hear in English, and I was like, no, that's okay. And I think the Funimation release of the anime censored a whole bunch of stuff. No censorship. Gets to the point where you think you're going to be arrested. But it's actually quite good. I like it. If you ever are wondering to pick it up and you don't know, you hear this or that about the anime, just pick up one of these. Check it out for yourself. If you don't like it, you didn't spend that much money. And yeah, it'll give you, you know, at least a day worth of content to read. And yeah, it's quite good. So yes, I apologize for you having to watch this video. You didn't have to, but I apologize for you watching this video. And like I always do, thank you. Comment, rate, subscribe. Any thoughts, or if you guys got some new manga thing or something you think I should have. And yes, I know, don't mention it, the Full Metal Alchemist box set, I'm working on it, but I may have bought something that almost cost me $500 and plays video games. You can probably guess which one, and if you guess the other one, you're a bad person. Yeah, that ended weird. Thank you, and here's now a 5-hour editing session.